What's up, everybody? It's BC. Welcome back. We are going to talk today about how to stay lean, how to stay in shape year round. I'm somebody who has had low body fat pretty much since forever. But I want to talk to you guys today about some practical stuff because I'm 38 years old now. So I'm getting older. And I want to share with you some of the common stuff that I do. This isn't some scientific mumbo jumbo that I'm going to go through in studies. This is just what works for me and what I'd recommend for you that has allowed me, whether I've been like 100% plant-based, super alkaline vegan or carnivore or anything in between throughout other types and, we can say segments of my life to stay lean and stay, muscular, stay, have my abs showing and everything, right? The first one is there's a high level of activity that I have every day. And when I say that, I don't mean I'm rigorously exercising, and all this stuff. Like what I mean by that is there's always movement. I'm always fidgeting. If I have, I sit down at the computer for an hour or two, then I'll get up and I'll go for a 30 or 45-minute walk. If I'm working at the office and I happen to be inside of the office more that day, and like, let's say I'm on the phone, I'm not sitting there talking like this. I'm up taking steps and pacing around, right? I'll do random squats. Like I'm always moving basically. Like even now, most days in the morning, I'll go out for a 30 or 45-minute walk. At the gym in between my sets, I'll do something like, let's say I'm at the dip station, I'm doing dips. I'll come down in my rest. I'll go grab two 45s, one 45-pound plate, one 45-pound plate, and I'll hold them by my side like a farmer's carry, and I'll walk for 45 seconds or a minute, and that's my rest. So I'm walking while I'm doing a core stabilization exercise, but I'm getting extra steps in even in between my workouts, right? So the high level of activity isn't necessarily strenuous activity. It's just I'm always moving, always shaking, always stretching, always fidgeting. Like a lot of times I'm just moving a lot. So if you added that to your day, you would burn a net more amount of calories. Let's say it's a couple hundred. Well, over a week, over 2 weeks, over a month, that's going to help you without really changing much, right? The second one is I do my best to get out in the sun. I don't know if that has a direct correlation with burning more calories, but I know it's good for like your gut. It's good for your energy levels. It's good for your skin. And overall good for your mood, good for your energy levels. And there's just so much benefits to having like vitamin D. Now you may be watching this and you're in Alaska or somewhere with not a lot of sun, then I would recommend you supplement vitamin D. I just noticed that everything is firing on all cylinders, even more so when I get more sun. And of course, the darker you get, the more ripped you're going to look. And overall, it's going to enhance your physique, even if it's the same, right? You being pale versus having a tan, you're obviously going to be more cut up and it's going to make you look better, right? And when you look better, it gives you more in your psyche of, okay, yeah, this is working. And it'll therefore kind of drive you to go after it more. Now me, and this is point 3, I've always had a high level of standard in my life when it comes to physique and like the quality of food that I put in my mouth, right? So whether I was eating junk food in the past or not, still the bulk, the lion's share of what I would eat was always good. But it comes down to that third point that I gave you, which is your standard for your physique has to be high in your health. If that's not high, then you don't care. You'll drink, you'll fuck around, you'll do all this other stuff, and you won't ever care. But if your standard for your physique, right, and saying, okay, I'm really going to make sure that I look and feel good all the time, and that standard's like a 9 out of 10, meaning 90% of the time I'm on point, then it's going to be easier for you to build muscle and stay ripped and all that stuff because you have a high standard for your physique. I mean, it's really that simple. Now, that's more of an internal or a mindset shift, but it's something that people have to really confront because the outside is always going to pressure you. There's always going to be temptations. People are always going to invite you out. Alcohol, this, that, smoking, bad food, holidays, whatever it is. But if your standard is there and it's set and you honor it, then it's not going to be a problem. We can put you in the middle swimming in temptation and you're not going to succumb to it because you've set that standard for yourself. All right. The next one is no drinking, no smoking, no recreational drugs. Right. I've known from the past, even once in a blue moon when I would drink, what do? You get hungry and you want to eat. Right. And that further messes up your physique. Then you get cravings, right? Then neurologically, you start getting messed up. You get dehydrated and you start having all these issues because you're consuming these things that you shouldn't. Now, am I against people drinking, smoking? No, do whatever the hell you want. I'm just saying if you want to be ripped and you want to be ripped year round and getting into older age, you're probably going to want to wane off the alcohol, the smoking, the drugs and all that stuff because it's not necessarily just the one drink or, smoking weed or whatever it is. It's what happens after that, right? A lot of my friends would smoke weed and then eat a ton because they get the munchies. Same thing with drinking. Hey, we went out for a night drinking. Before we go home, let's go hit the taco fucking stand or whatever, and you eat. It's normal. So it's what happens after the fact that leads to you getting messed up, messing up your hormones, right? Messing up your hunger, getting dehydrated, having really poor quality sleep, and all the other things that are detrimental when it comes to participating in those things like smoking, drinking, and that kind of stuff, right? The next one would be sleep. I always get good sleep, right? I make sure I get to sleep on time. I'm not going to be up in the wee hours of the night, because if I stay up past like 12:30, I get that second wind and then my sleep sucks, or I just don't want to go to sleep. So most days I try to get into bed or be in bed by 10:30, 11:30 at the latest. That way I'm up the next day by 6, 7 at the latest. I'm getting my 7-8 hours of quality sleep and I'm good. Now what leads to that is having good exercise, moving a lot, and doing something. Like I do calisthenics 3 times a week. I used to box all the time and I'm getting back into it now. So I'm probably going to get even more lean, but make sure that you're exercising and doing things, because that ties in directly with your sleep. I mean, a lot of this stuff is basic, y'all. It has to become a commitment for you. And back when I was starting my business, my real estate business, I would literally wake up, because I worked in real estate from pretty much 7 a.m. to like 6, 7 p.m., like 12-hour days, sometimes more. So I'd get my ass in the gym at 5 in the morning. I wake up at 5, and the first thing I do was brush my teeth, put my shoes on, and go to the gym and get a 30, 45-minute workout in, play some basketball, do some cardio, lift some weights. That way I got it out of the way, and then I did my day. Now, most people just aren't committed enough to wake up at 5. I would go to sleep at 10, 9:30, 10 the night before, so I got enough sleep and I was up by 5. Otherwise, I wouldn't wake up. If I went to sleep at midnight or 1, I'd wake up at 5 feeling like shit, or I wouldn't want to wake up. So all these things require sacrifice and dedication. The question is are you willing to do it? And I think this stuff works now just as much as it did when I was 28 or 18 or 23 or whatever it is. So just make sure that you're following a lot of these basic things and that you're doing it. Now, if there's one thing I'm going to add before I end the video, because I'll just keep it short, is find some other people that are like-minded, right? A lot of my coaching students and the people around me, that's the mindset that I instill in them, and us just being more in close proximity facilitates this type of stuff, because everywhere they look, every interaction they have, and when they just are around us, they see that this high standard and high level is present all around them with me and all the other people in our community. And that's so key, and you need to create that for yourself, so it's not just you trying to be a lone wolf. Can you do stuff alone? I guess, sure. But there's no comparison when you get around other people, right? That they're just going to push you more and drive you more and pull the best out of you and draw the best out of you so you can do even better, right? Cool. So keep it short and sweet here, guys. These are just some of the tips that I can give you on staying lean year round, like sub 10% body fat. It's simple stuff. Yeah, your genetics are going to have are going to play into it. But overall, if you eat clean food, if you don't drink and smoke, you get good sleep, you're getting adequate exercise, and you don't have some huge sickness or autoimmune disorder, you can stay lean, right? And the reality is most of us are just sedentary. We don't move and we eat like shit. And that's what causes us to have bad physiques. All right. That's it for this one, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.